Alright guys, the official lineup for UFC 310 looks like it's out right now, and guys, this looks like a banger card to go ahead and talk about. And I've been doing my research, and let's go ahead and talk about my rough draft that I've been looking at so far for UFC 310. Now guys, tell me in the comment section if I'm tripping, because I feel like I have some hidden gems. So guys, just hear me out for a quick second. As you guys can see, we have Pantoja versus Asakura, Rakhmonov versus Ian Garry, Gane versus Volkov, Bryce Mitchell versus Karen Gracie. We have Nate Landwehr versus Choi, Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes, Vicente Lucas versus Nick Diaz. I think that fight was switched up, if I'm not mistaken. We got freaking Randy Brown versus Brian Battle. I'm very disappointed in Randy Brown, what he's been doing, but that's another story that we're going to talk about today. We got Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. Now, I don't know if this is the starter up for the prelims, but if this is the startup for the prelims, that's absolutely disrespectful, and the UFC should be absolutely, it's a strike should be put on them if this is the startup for the prelims. I don't see how this fight is above Randy Brown and Brian Battle, Vicente Luque and Nick Diaz. I know they're bigger names. Well, Nick Diaz is a bigger name, but that shouldn't be above it. Anthony Smith and Dominic Reyes. But I think that shouldn't be the case, and I'm pretty sure the UFC wouldn't have this as a startup of the prelims. But alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about it. And guys, I really want to start off by talking about Ian Garry versus Rakhmonov. I know the main event is there, but this is my personal main event. And guys, I've been looking at this fight, and a lot of people have been saying Rakhmonov is going to go ahead and beat Ian Garry. But guys, I feel so differently. Now, I've seen the odds right here. I seen Shavkat was plus 180, and I had to go ahead and do some research to see if that was real. And guys, I'm looking at it right now. Shavkat Rakhmonov is a minus 300 favorite, and Ian Garry is a plus 250 favorite. Now, guys, you go ahead and look at the history of these two dudes. Let's go ahead and start off with Ian Garry first. Ian Garry has been cash money, winning by decision, winning by KO, TKO, winning by split decision. So it is shown clear as day going into the deeper rounds. Ian Garry, this is a 5-round bout, by the way. It shows going into the deeper rounds, Ian Garry is ready for war. You go ahead and look at Shavkat's side of town. As you guys can see, both these dudes are absolute green light money. The dudes he's fought was Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And he's actually doing what he needs to do, dominating these dudes and beating these dudes. Jeff Neal was a little bit more of a fight, but he ended up having a beautiful submission. It was like a standing rear naked choke, some crazy-ish like that. But when it's all said and done, guys, I might be taking Ian Garry at the plus 260, guys. You look at it, I'm looking at it from this point of view. You have Ian Garry, a guy that I'm pretty sure the UFC wants to win the fight. Ian Garry got boosted up from fighting Joaquin Buckley all the way to Shavkat Rakhmonov. That is a huge booster, and I'm telling you right now, Ian Garry is ready for it. This dude is in Brazil, chilling with the Brazilians, so his ground game on bottom, no dating when I say that, should be good. He should be able to get back up to his feet and make it an absolute fight to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And that's what I'm thinking about with Ian Garry at this moment. You look at it, if Ian Garry wins this fight, you look at Bilal Muhammad versus Ian Garry for the welterweight championship belt. The build-up for that will be an absolute money. That will be a cash cow for the UFC. So I think Ian Garry has a little bit of leeway towards the judges. Granted, that's just my thought process. You guys can probably think different. You guys can comment delusional for saying that. But I feel like the judges will lean heavy towards Ian Garry if Ian Garry can make this a fight with Shavkat. Obviously, if Shavkat dominates Ian Garry, then that's another story. But if this is competitive, Ian Garry can definitely take this. Even if this is like a robbery type of style of fight, Ian Garry, it will lean his way. And I have Ian Garry being Shavkat Rakhmonov. You go back to Ian Garry's side of town, the dude he's beating Daniel Rodriguez. Not much of a crazy win like that. But you go all the way back, he's beating Jordan Williams, Darian Weeks, Gabriel Green, Kenan Song, Daniel Rodriguez, Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, Michael Venom Page. And guys, I know you're looking at the Michael Venom Page win like, okay, he didn't look that sharp. But, I mean, it's Michael Venom Page. He is a jobber. I don't think Michael Venom Page is all that good. If he fought Shara Bullet, I have Shara Bullet, the one-eyed dude, beating MVP. But MVP style is a different type of style to go ahead and really understand. So I don't blame Ian Garry for being a little bit cautious on his approach with Michael Venom Page. But all in all, guys, when it's all said and done, I'm not gonna talk your ears out about it. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. I have Ian Garry at the plus 260, and if the lines keep moving up and he's at 3-1, then I'm taking Ian Garry, and I will sprinkle a decision win by that. Guys, let's go ahead and talk about the main event now. Guys, you know the trend that I've been saying for a long time. By the way, this is Pantoja versus Kai Asakura. And the saying that I've been saying for the longest is that let's go ahead and have a picture up. The saying that I've been saying for the longest is that I don't believe in these Asian fighters. These Asian fighters have to show me something before I go ahead and really gamble on these dudes. And Kai Asakura is one of these dudes that I won't gamble on. I have Pantoja dominating Kai Asakura. This is his debut in the UFC. UFC is throwing this dude into the fire. And I'm not saying he can't make this a competitive fight against Pantoja, but I've seen Pantoja night in and night out I've seen this dude go against Brandon Moreno and have an absolute war with Brandon Moreno. And now he's in a big spot. Dude is ranked number 11th in the ranking. Let's go to the ranking system. You go ahead and look at the ranking system. I know Pantoja feels disrespected because John Jones just got moved up to number 2. Not because John Jones is ahead of him, he feels disrespected. But you go ahead and look at it. Volkanovski is ahead of him. He has no belt around his waist. Leon, no belt around his waist. Tom Aspinall, he's the interim champ. Marab, haven't had a title defense yet, even though he has some big name in his resume. Drake is Duplessis. I mean, come on, bro. At this point, I feel like my boy Pantoja should be able to go ahead and dominate. And you go ahead and look at the odds into this fight right now. Pantoja is a minus 235 going into some books, and this is the line says it all. I feel like the line it screams Pantoja, and I'm on the side of the lines, guys. I will be betting on Pantoja. I will be betting the house on Pantoja. I think Pantoja is going to be in a competitive fight right here. The UFC isn't just throwing anybody into a championship spot. This Kai Asakura is a dangerous dude. So Pantoja is going to go through a little bit of hiccups going in this fight. But when it's all said and done, going into championship rounds, I'm going to take Pantoja any time of the day. Pantoja, round 4, round 5, he's guaranteed winning those rounds. Question is, can Kai Asakura take out Pantoja, or can he win those first 3 rounds for Pantoja to try to go ahead and he needs to go ahead and need a finish to go ahead and take care of business. Oh, guys, I'm sick, by the way, man. My nose is running. My nose is stuffy. It is killing me right now. But next fight up, let's go ahead and talk about the heavyweight bout between Ciryl Gane and Alexander Volkov. And guys, I will be betting the house on Volkov, guys. I don't know in what world. Let's go ahead and look at the odds. I'm curious, what do they have the odds at? Ciryl Gane at minus 250. I don't know how Ciryl Gane is minus 250. Granted, his only loss did come to Francis Ngannou and John Jones. 2 dominant dudes in their own right. John Jones, the GOAT. So, granted, I'm not going to count John Jones. He took a loss to Francis Ngannou. So, that's the only hiccup that I see in Ciryl Gane's resume. I'm not counting John Jones, guys. I will not do that. John Jones he's the GOAT, guys. But, you go ahead and look at it. Ciryl Gane has been absolute cash money. Like I said, those are the only 2 losses that he's had. But, granted, he beat Volkov in a decision. It went to 5 rounds. In this spot right here, we all know Ciryl Gane is the faster guy. We all know that. But in this style of fight right here, Volkov is the bigger guy. Volkov understood, okay, Ciryl Gane is a different style of speed in this heavyweight. Ciryl Gane displayed a different style of speed that no heavyweight has ever shown. And I'm pretty sure Alexander Volkov hasn't had anybody in that training room with that style of Ciryl Gane. A dude that size, a dude kicking like that, even to this day, it might be still hard for you to find a dude that still has that style of Ciryl Gane. But when you go ahead and look at it, man, this dude Volkov is the bigger guy. All he has to do is literally push the pace on Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane has the footwork to escape that. I will go ahead and give him that credit. But you go ahead and cut the cage just right. Use your leg kicks just right. I believe Volkov has a path to victory. Volkov has wrestling. You seen what John Jones did. You seen what Francis Ngannou did. A dude that barely does wrestling. He took down Ciryl Gane. So I believe in this spot, Volkov has that better grappling exchanges, and he will use that to his advantage. He's not gonna make this a heavy stand-up fight. I believe he will use the clinch, work the clinch, and he will use his takedowns, and he will slow down Ciryl Gane. And going into round 3, I believe he dominates Ciryl Gane, and Ciryl Gane gets gassed. I'm taking Volkov, guys. I had to blow my nose real quick. All right, so guys, we have Choi versus Nate Landwehr. Now, guys, I've been saying that the Chinese fighter or the Asian community, I have to see you guys go ahead and do something. The Korean Zombie is the only guy that I've seen that's made a name for himself and that's done something with the Asian community. And guys, this Choi is one other guy that I'm going to go ahead and give an exception to. Choi is a plus 144 underdog going against Nate Landwehr. And in this spot, I should go with the trend and take Nate Landwehr. But I'm not going to do that. Choi, I feel like in this spot, he's going to put it together. He's going to piece it in together. He should have been fighting in last week's card. You go ahead and look at that Piotr Yan versus Davidson Figueroa. They're fighting in China, mother F's. He should have been fighting in that card. But in this spot right here, I have to take Choi, man. You go ahead and look at the betting history for Choi. I feel like we should at least give him that. He's lost to these two Canadians. Granted, this was a draw to Kyle Nelson. But this is what I'm saying. This is a bounce back spot for Choi. Losing to Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stevenson is a tough night out. He won against Bill Algeo. Boom. Cashed in at plus 190. I believe in a spot right here, he's going to cash in again at plus 120 going against Nate Landwehr. Nate Landwehr has been a tough night out. He's fought in Dan Ige and lost. Jamal Emers, he's won for round 1 KO TKO. So he's going to bring that thump. My thing here is with Nate Landwehr, if he doesn't do anything in his first 2 rounds, it is guaranteed that Choi should possibly puts his lights out. I'm taking Choi by knockout. I believe this dude right here is going to show that he is improved. And I really believe in Choi, guys. I know I've been saying that the Asian fighters haven't been showing me much. This dude right here, I believe he's going to show me something. Go ahead. You go do a quick little breeze through these dudes. Anthony Smith, Dominic Reyes. This is a tough fight to go ahead and predict. I'm going to be honest with you. But, guys, I'm leaning towards Dominic Reyes. Anthony Smith, at this point, he's washed up. It's no more left in the tank for Anthony Smith, man. And he's shown it in his last fight. And in this spot right here, this is a Dominic Reyes spot. I have Dominic Reyes by unanimous decision. And Anthony Smith barely survives in that octagon. Next fight up. I don't think this is the fight right here. Vicente Luque does have a new opponent. Let's go ahead and check it out. It is Thiba Gorbio. I don't know who this dude is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. But I will be taking this dude. Vicente Luque has been looking like a shell of himself. Don't know much about his game. Have to do more research. This is why this is a rough draft. So I'm going to do more research. But so far, I'm just going to take this dude. I'm going to trust the lines. He's a minus 250 favorite. I'm just going to have to trust the lines in this spot. And he's been cash money. You look at Vicente Luque's spot of town. He has not been cash money. His most recent win came from RDA. Lost to Joaquin Buckley. But as you guys can see, Joaquin Buckley is a tough night out. But I have to do more research. But as of today, I will be taking my Themba brother. Don't know who he is, guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. Oh, man, my nose is tripping. All right, guys, let's talk about Brian Battle versus Randy Brown, guys. And Randy Brown was a guy that I had a lot of hype in. And, guys, you go ahead and look at the most recent fights that Randy Brown's been fighting in. He's been cash money. He's been winning in these spots, and he's going against the hype train of Brian Battle. Brian Battle has a little bit of that hype train with him, and it's a tough hype train. I'm not going to sit and lie to you guys, but as you guys can see, Randy Brown has been cash money as a favorite in these spots. But as you guys can see, in these spots where he's an underdog, he's just not really cash money. Or when the line is dead even, when the line is set for him to, like, you know, have a competitive fight, he doesn't cover. You go ahead and look, plus 270 hasn't covered, plus 180 hasn't covered, close dead even odds haven't covered, dead even odds haven't covered, plus money hasn't covered. So now in this spot, he's plus money going against Brian Battle. I don't believe he's going to cover, guys. I believe the trend continues. Randy Brown at underdog value just isn't money as much. And I'm looking at it as a spot that Randy Brown is just going to lose, guys. I'm not going to say and lie to you. And that's just the facts. Let's go ahead and talk about Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. And guys, this is going to be an absolute battle of a fight, boy. The only thing, and I was leaning towards Aljamain Sterling, but I just can't. The only thing that's killing me with Aljamain Sterling is that the rules are set against him. You can now need grounded opponents. The thing that he won and captured a belt for against Petr Yan is the thing that I believe can be his nightmare. As you guys can see, when he did that tactic against Henry Cejudo had some good grappling exchanges, but the rule was put against was against him. Now he's in this spot going against Evloev. This is a spot that Evloev should be able to win. Aljamain Sterling is in that gym with Merab. He's in the gym with the champ. He has that style of rushing wrestling, so he has that style to see and look for. This will be a competitive fight. I think the odds aren't saying what it needs to say. But I'm going to have to lean towards Evloev. I think Evloev is just going to put it together. Aljamain Sterling, this will be a little bit of a downfall moment for Aljamain Sterling. And at some point, I believe he will bring it back up. But in this spot right here, guys, I will be taking Evloev. And boy, oh boy, man. Guys, I thought I'll be able to give you more talking. But man, as you guys can see in here, my nose is tripping right now. So guys, I'm going to end it right here. This is my rough draft to UFC 310. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Oh my, guys. If you're hearing my voice, I am out of there right now. I'm out.